I'm Reverend Markel Hutchins, Chairman and CEO of Movement Forward Incorporated. We are a modern, inclusive, and solution-focused human and civil rights organization based in Atlanta, Georgia. The tensions that we've seen across the nation over the past few years following controversial law enforcement-involved tragedies has created unprecedented strains on your officers and in communities alike. We absolutely must find ways to cause our communities and our law enforcement professionals to come together, to work together, and see the humanity in one another in order to bring healing and reconciliation, thereby moving our nation forward. We cannot do this if we're reduced to yelling and screaming at each other. We must put our best foot forward to find common ground. For that reason, our organization collaborated last year with the Office of Community-Oriented Policing Services, or COPS office at the U.S. Department of Justice, to host a meeting in April of 2020 with all of the national law enforcement professional and membership associations, including the International Association of Chiefs of Police, or IACP, Major City Chiefs of America, the National Sheriff's Association, the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives, FOP, PERF, NOLI, NAPO, and literally every other national law enforcement professional organization to co-host the most collaborative police community outreach project in American history, National Faith and Blue Weekend, which occurred in October of 2020 for the first time. The mission and purpose is to facilitate safer, stronger, more just and unified communities by directly enabling partnerships among law enforcement professionals, residents, and businesses through the connections of local faith-based organizations. Never before had the nation's sheriffs and chiefs and unions and all the other diverse organizations in law enforcement come together with the U.S. Department of Justice and the U.S. Department of Homeland Security on a single community police collaboration project. It was historic. In year one, with just 3.5 months of planning, we were able to produce 1,000 events across 43 states throughout our country because there is a real hunger and thirst in law enforcement and in communities for solutions. The activities included virtual and in-person options for forums and discussions, service projects, community walks and marches, picnics, athletic contests, crime and safety briefings, and other events geared toward fostering an environment of healing and reconciliation. We have to turn to one another. We can no longer afford to turn on each other. With some people in one corner yelling "Our lives matter" and others in different corners yelling "Our lives matter," there's little progress that can be made and little good that can be accomplished. But there is no limit to the good that we can achieve if we have the courage and capacity to come together. It is for that reason that we're expanding National Faith and Blue Weekend in 2021. Not only are we continuing to work with the U.S. Department of Justice and the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and all of the aforementioned national law enforcement groups, but we're engaging and increasing our engagement with states. We're working directly with state police chiefs and state sheriff's associations from coast to coast to grow this movement to unite cops and communities by making National Faith and Blue Weekend available to every sheriff's office and every police department in America. There are simply no institutions that can help bridge the gaps and bring healing and reconciliation the way that the faith community can. There are 350,000 houses of worship in our country, thousands of them right there in the state of Oregon. Each one of them has great potential to help your agencies to promote peace, resolution, and mutual trust in the communities that your officers protect and serve. For these reasons, I've traveled the country speaking to more than 30 police chiefs and sheriff's associations thus far. And by the time the summer ends, I will have spoken to chiefs and sheriffs in all 50 states through their associations, mostly in person. Each one of those state associations that I've spoken to has voted to partner with National Faith and Blue Weekend to join IACP, Major City Chiefs, and all of the other national law enforcement associations in this trailblazing efforts. And we really want to work with OACP to get involved and to do more. I want to thank Chief Workman, and I want to thank Executive Director Campbell, and especially to my good friend Portland Chief Chuck Lavelle for making this opportunity available for me to share with your colleagues. We want to work with the chiefs in Oregon the way we're working with chiefs and sheriffs in all other states. Again, each one of the states that we've spoken to thus far has decided to formally partner with National Faith in Blue Weekend, and we hope that the Oregon Association of Chiefs of Police will do the same. What that will do is it will allow us to do the work that is necessary to send a letter to every police chief and every agency head in your state, inviting them to a webinar where their departments will get firsthand comprehensive training about how to organize National Faith in Blue Weekend activities in their local communities. My staff and I will host those trainings and will give a detailed briefing that will empower every police department and agency there to do Faith in Blue activities across your wonderful state. We want Oregon to be well represented with all of the other states. We've developed every tool and resource that your local agencies will need. We've worked with the Department of Justice to produce a first-class, wonderful toolkit that has a step-by-step organizing guide. We have t-shirts and banners and every other resource needed, all at no cost to any organization and no cost to any agency. Thanks to the sponsorship of our presenting sponsor, FirstNet Built with AT&T, along with Motorola Solutions Foundation, we're able to provide a wealth of resources and direct support for free at no cost to your agencies. I would ask that you all would consider voting as an association today to join all the others and become involved in National Faith in Blue Weekend in a substantive way. We want Oregon to be well represented in this critical movement. There's been a great effort to divide law enforcement and communities, and we are building a movement to bring us together like never before, because we're not nearly as divided as we are disconnected. I'm Reverend Markel Hutchins, and again, thank you so much, and we look forward to working with the chiefs in Oregon and your colleagues in the sheriff's departments across your great and beautiful state. May God bless you, and again, thank you.